We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Second down, back to Sanders. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he works free. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there. They'll feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down, it's Sanders, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. Man open right side, it's Rodgers.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They hand off to their big tight end, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop. Here's 2nd and 9. Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. On 1st down, Sanders. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Running right. Here's Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give to Howard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. They'll run. It's Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And to give this time to the tailback. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 1st down marker at the 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, a 10-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Sliding out of the pocket. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. After the sack on 1st down, Hurts. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now Sanders. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Here's Sanders. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Play action. Here's Hurts rolling to his right. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coach is up in the box.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, 75 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Second down, back to Sanders. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They go play action with Hurts. Smith catches left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll look to throw here. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts escaping the pressure right. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. He can only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. To the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Brandon Graham, his 2nd sack of the night. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They give it off here to the tight end. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. On 1st down, Sanders. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Wow, and even 200 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Boston Scott, his first carry. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. Hurts fumbles it. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. His short throw caught by Goddard. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.